Well, it's now time for a quick look at the markets. Emma Moody is with us. Big Cheese at the Markets Desk. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Goldman Sachs getting in a little bit of trouble. Tell us about that.
A little bit of trouble. Sort of another day, another bank probe investigation is disclosed. So Goldman Sachs had its quarterly filing where it has to detail everything that's going on with it. What we found out was that it is under some level of investigation over high-frequency trading. Every regulator, every prosecutor under the sun is looking at high-frequency trading. I think everybody knows that.
And people are worried that basically it isn't a fair market for all participants, and that's what they want the markets to at least appear to be fair, and hopefully be fair, and that everyone, that you and I, have the same chance as really rich companies like Goldman Sachs.
Right. Well, these high-speed traders, people worry that they're getting ahead of everybody else. They get to pick all the good stocks and sell before everyone else does. And the question is, to what extent are banks and stock exchanges sort of enabling that to happen?
Yeah, and,
so that's
I guess the question is it rigged? And no conclusive evidence. Is it rigged? That's what they're trying to determine. Okay, Omnicom, a merger was going to happen, and then the marriage is all off.
It just shows you that there's no such thing as a merger of equals. $35 billion. It was going to be a very big deal. They announced it, I think it was 9 months ago, so it's taken a long time. They've been trying to get the deal together. They just couldn't come to any kind of agreement. Usual things like who's going to actually be in charge, like what executives are going to go where, which company gets to pick what.
Oh, it's all about the offices. It's all about who gets the big office.
That's what it comes down to, and who actually is going to be the acquirer for Record. They couldn't agree, so they called it all off.
They called it all off. Let's call the whole thing off. More on that at 10:30 on Money Beat with Paul Vignier and the crew. Do a look at that. So later this morning, we're going to have wholesale inventories out and the JOLTS report at 10 a.m. The JOLTS report, that's the job openings. And it sounds like someone's going to get electrocuted.
I know.
But that's important, though.
The economy gets its own jolt.
Yeah. But more job openings is good, right? And more quits is good because it means people are leaving for new jobs.
That's what we want to see. Everyone wants to see that job market start cranking up, and we got a good sign last week, so hopefully this sort of continues that. Okay, now you got three stocks you're looking at. The first of which is Apple, buying some very expensive headphones. We heard about Apple, a very big deal. It would be their largest acquisition. So the market is trying to digest that. Likes it so far. It hasn't actually announced it, so we'll see. The proof will be in the pudding, I think. Okay. On that one. Now the Gap Inc., which owns the Gap, Banana Republic, and Old Navy, actually doing well. Doing well. A clothing retailer doing well. We don't usually get to talk about that. But what happened here? Because it's so unusual these days, because we keep hearing about clothing. It's a very hard business, and particularly in that middle market bit, which is the Gap really is cemented in. Obviously, their new line is appealing to people. April same-store sales are up 9%, which is enormous, and the forecast impressed too. So great. Well, that's good. Well, good luck to them. Congratulations, guys. And CBS, Les Moonves, who I've had the pleasure to meet, is congenitally optimistic, but apparently wasn't kind of in line with where the analysts were. The revenue at CBS fell a bit short. They have a lot of great shows, The Big Bang, The Good Wife. They're number one, but they actually also fall short in that mean category, that 18 to 49-year-olds. They've been declining their revenues down. So it was a mixed report. The earnings were actually pretty impressive, but I think the market is sort of a little concerned about what comes next for them. What's next? That's always the thing with the markets, isn't it?